I have a long and storied past. I know I hinted at this earlier when I talked about Sonic Adventure earlier this year, but when it comes to Sonic, it really holds a very special place in my heart, and that's because Sonic the Hedgehog is kind of my earliest video game memory ever. When I was a kid, the very first game I have memories of playing was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Genesis, which came out the same year I was born. When Sonic Adventure came out, it was the first big 3D Sonic game. I was super excited for it, but we weren't really a Sega household past the Genesis. We basically moved on to PlayStation, Nintendo, other systems, but the Dreamcast was one that I did not own. I only got to play it at like stores that had a setup there, or at like one of my best friend's house. He had a Dreamcast and we played Sonic Adventure there. Later, when it came out on the GameCube along with Sonic Adventure 2, I really dug my claws into Sonic in the 3D world and was extremely excited for Sonic Heroes to come out. It was the new 3D Sonic game. It was going to be the first Sonic game that I was going to be playing right alongside everybody else. I was so happy. I could not wait for that game. And Sonic Heroes came out, and I was pretty disappointed. I did not like it. I didn't really like the direction the game went. And because of that, I ended up skipping out on Shadow the Hedgehog. I kind of was not really into Sonic as much as I used to be. And when I got the Xbox 360, I remember my brother and I, we each got a game. He got Dead Rising. That was the first game he played. And I got Sonic 06. And if you know anything about that game, you know it's a complete piece of shit. And after about 20 minutes of playing, I put it down and never played it again. I pretty much gave up on Sonic at that point. I think I just kind of wiped it off the face of it. And it wasn't until 2011, I think, when Sonic Generations was getting ready to come out, which was a big celebration of Sonic's history. It was a recreation of a bunch of old levels from the old games. I was super excited for it. And in the build up to it, I actually picked up Sonic Colors on the Wii, which I really enjoyed. I actually thought it was a pretty good step in the right direction. And I was super excited. Generations finally came out, and man, it was great. I absolutely loved it. But the thing about it was a celebration of the history of Sonic, of the games of the past. And that's something that would kind of end up playing a key role in Sonic's future, that they would kind of revisit over and over again. But I was excited for the future. I was like, what's going to be the next big 3D Sonic game? I can't wait. And, that is where we get to Sonic Lost World, which was originally a Wii U exclusive. This game, how do I put this? Well, I'll say I went into this game with very low expectations. See, I never played this when it came out because on the build up to it, it didn't look very promising. What they were showing was not what I thought Sonic should have in a new game. The reviews were not very favorable, and I kind of just passed on it. But all these years later, I got around to finally playing Sonic Lost World, the PC port, and so I went into this game with pretty low expectations, and I think the easy way to put it is Sonic Lost World is a piece of shit, and really just offers very little to anyone who could ever bother playing this game. The story is almost completely non-existent. They tried in some way to make a story, but they give so little information on what's going on and where you are. The world of the Lost Hex, which is never explained, the Fiendish Five or Sinister Six, or whatever the fuck they're called, they never explain who they are or what they're from or what they want. I mean, it's nothing. The only good part of the story element is the opening cutscene to the game, which is really well done, really well animated. The rest of the game, though, the story is very forgettable. The dialogue's okay, like Eggman has some funny lines, but man, it's just, the story is fucking bad. The gameplay, which is like the main fucking appetite, the main goddamn course when it comes to Sonic, they fucked it up. I mean, there's a fucking run button, which is by holding a trigger, which is fucking weird. And like, I played the whole game holding it down the entire time, because why would the fuck would you not want to run as Sonic? I mean, that's kind of the idea. You can do the spin dash, but I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I just think like the control is fucking terrible. Like, the level design is very, very Mario Galaxy-esque. I don't know why. I guess that's what they were going for, with cylindrical type levels design, but it, like, at the first level is like, okay, you kind of get a feel for it, but like basically it's just the same shit over and over and over again, and it's not fun. And they have a mechanic in this game where you can actually like grab onto walls and pull yourself up, or do like a parkour system where you can like jump across walls. But like every time I ever had to do it, it didn't feel right, or it was activated when I didn't want it to, or I get to a wall and I wanted to stop, but instead I'm jumping and climbing on top of the wall, and it's like I just never got a grasp of the control the whole way through. It I just feel bad because I was actually excited for this because I never got around to playing it back in 2013, whenever it was that it came out. And maybe if maybe you could argue that it might play better on the Wii U, but I fucking doubt it. I just think this is another example of them just not fucking knowing what they're doing. And to this day, I mean, Sonic Frontiers is still supposed to come out this year. It doesn't look very promising. It doesn't really look like they've learned much in the 10 years nearly since this game, or half the games before it. Yeah, this was. There's nothing much. I don't know what the fuck to say because this game, like, it has potential. Like, I think the idea behind it is interesting. I think the idea of this other world that we've never seen before, like, that's fine. And even the villains, like the villains could have been interesting. They could have been cool, but instead they're all just stereotypical archetypes that like are fucking embarrassing. They would have been embarrassing in fucking 1992, and they're fucking even more embarrassing in 2013 or whatever. One of them's just a big fat piece of shit who just wants to eat all the time. One of them's a woman who wants to fucking paint her nails and fucking hook up with Sonic. One of them's like emo. It's so fucking lame, and it's just like, this is what they had to offer. And now I look at 10 years later almost, and it's just like, yeah, this is a fucking waste of time. So my recommendation is do not play Sonic Lost World. It is not fun, and I did not enjoy my time with it. Maybe fingers crossed, eyes crossed, knees crossed. Hopefully Sonic Frontiers is at least fucking even an ounce better than this, because that game does not look very promising. But this is a bottom of the barrel for sure. I don't think it's probably as bad as some of the previous entries like 06 or maybe even Shadow the Hedgehog, but I was going into this game with very low expectations, and my God, it fucking sucked. So here's hoping to the future of Sonic the Hedgehog, and that it's nothing like this.